Hey Lorenz, John Shields here with Fight Famous. You fought at a bunch of different weight classes. Is this the right weight for you for your explosive style?
I think so. You know, we'll see what 55 has to offer, but I feel good. You know, as these fights keep going on, my weight keeps getting, better and better. The cut keeps getting a little better and better, so I'm good, man.
All right, cool. And this last one here. As a dad, how important is it for you to teach your kids self-defense? I see you teaching firearms and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I think every dad should teach kids, self-defense and protect themselves. So I think, my kids are. My son, he's good. I think he can protect himself. He knows how to shoot too. So, and my daughter, she does her training at the gym too. So. I think anybody, not just parents. I think everybody should be able to protect themselves to a certain degree.
Thank you.
What's up, Lorenz? Your son recently turned 18. Happy late birthday to him, bro.
Is it supposed to be like speaker?
No,
or is
sorry.
Oh,
You can just speak a little
Gotcha.
louder.
Did you hear me on that one?
Yeah.
Happy late birthday to your son. Just want to say you've been undefeated under the Bellator banner since 2017. Now on the verge of a title shot, very deservingly. Does this moment feel overdue, or does this feel like the right time for a title run opposition?
Man, tell you the truth, I haven't even been thinking about this whole #1 contender thing. Just like I've been saying back then, I'm just keep my head down and keep fighting, and that's how I've been treating it. I don't need to be out here hooping and hollering about, the belt and all this other stuff. What they give me, then I earned it. I know for a fact I've earned it because I just shut up and fight, man. Every time they give me an opponent, I just go dark, my IG, and get in there, start training, and I show up. I'm not pulling out of fights. I'm not getting hurt. The people I'm going against, I might have late replacements, but it's never on my part. You know what I mean? I've just been showing up. And I want to see the stats on me pulling out of fights. I haven't. You know what I mean? So.
Well, hopefully I can get you that stat next time we talk, maybe at the post fight.
Yeah. I need to see that.
On that note, you're one of the few fighters that have fought under all the big promotions by their own choice as well. What does that mean to you, and what advice do you give to young fighters that want to make this a career?
First off, I'm happy that I've got to experience all the promotions, and for the young fighters coming up, man, just shut up and fight, man. Don't you don't have to talk shit and do all these things, because if you're good at shit talking and you can't back it up when you finally get in there, then you're gonna come in strong and then you're gonna leave out strong too. So, there's a big wave of guys that are just getting pushed into promotions, thinking that they're gonna jump, and then they just start to fall off, and then you know what I mean, and then they're back on the regional circuit selling tickets. So just fight, man. Don't turn down fights, just fight. Don't try to look for the easy way out, because at this stage there is no easy way out. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna fight the best. If you don't fight them now, you're gonna fight them later. So why not fight them now? So that's my only advice.
Just building off what you said there, you think people are getting to the UFC a little early or something like that, or these big promotions early and then they're kind of phasing out?
There's a lot of fighters getting in there early, man. I remember, when I got signed, I was, tearing up the regional circuit, and I think I got picked up at 9-0. So, it used to be hard, I'm not gonna say like it's not. Now my outlook on it, back then my outlook was like you have to be really good to get picked up, to get into the big show. Now your chances are a lot more likely if you stay in there. If you stay in the game and you stay healthy, there's a bigger percentage of you getting in, maybe on a late replacement or something like that. There's a bigger chance now than there was back when I was getting into the game. That's what I feel like.
You think it's because of more shows or something like that in general kind of going on right now?
I don't know. I mean, obviously there's more shows now, but yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not too sure.
And then, so with Levan, he came in here and then he said that probably your biggest weapon in the fight is going to be your elbows. I'm just curious what you think your biggest weapon will be in there.
That's my only weapon is my elbows. I guess. I mean, we'll see. You know, I use my whole body, man. This is my whole weapon, you know, and I only really get to go full bore in a fight. You know, I never get to go full bore in training and use all my tools because, to be totally honest, like you can't really use elbows, you can't really use knees like that in training if you want to take care of your partners, you know. So, hey, if that's all he's looking for, cool. That. Levan, that's all I'm throwing is elbows. So just watch out for the elbows, nothing else.
All right, and then he's also saying that he believes it'll be his best performance out there. As far as you go, what are you thinking for yourself for that fight?
I hope it is his best performance. I mean, I had a good camp. I'm healthy. I'm feeling good, you know. So I'm coming in there at 100%. So I hope this is his best performance to show what this old man could do, you know. So
cool. Thank you.
How's it going, Lorenz? Good. It's MMA Locker Room here, part of Pub Sports Radio. I just got 2 questions for you, so I'm going to keep them nice and sweet. It seems like, you know, you came to become the fighter's fighter, the one everybody wants to see and watch when they go in that cage. It doesn't matter about a championship, doesn't matter about a ranking, it matters about what you do in that cage. So what can we expect coming out this Saturday?
same thing, man. Just go in there, take care of business, and that's all I'm focused on. Is going in there and showing what I do all the time. Give you what you know to expect from me, you know. So, you know, I just can't wait to get in there. This is like my freedom zone on a Saturday. You know what I mean? Where I really get to be free. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I'm happy. I'm happy that I got a eager opponent. You know, that's only going to bring better out of me. So I'm just counting down the days.
Got it. It seems like you kept yourself in good condition throughout the fights and everything like that, but what made you start at 2011 as a light heavyweight, 205 pounds, and now you're just fighting at this 170 weight?
Yeah, so when I was amateur, I was fighting at heavyweight. So I started out at heavyweight, and then told myself when I turned pro, I was gonna go to 205. And then, you know, as the competition started getting better and better, and the guys started getting bigger and bigger, I was just like, okay, maybe it's time to take another step, weight class down, and then, you know, and then now this is where I'm at 70. I feel like this is my weight, you know. So.
Hey, what's up, homie? Welcome to San Diego.
Thank you.
MMA Homie Podcast. Word on the street or online was that you didn't know about the title elimination fight until a homie told you. Is there any validity to that?
Yeah.
Speak on it then.
Yeah, so I literally had no idea. I actually trained at, I was actually one of the fighters on the card, Herman Torado, and I trained at his gym, and we were training, and then he was like, hey man, you know, at the end of the training, he was like, hey man, congrats. And he's like, congrats on the #1 title or title fight, you know,
Right.
or title contender fight. And I was just like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right.
This is a normal fight, dude. He's like, nah, man, I thought I seen something. I was like, nah, dude, hey. And I'm looking at him like, I would know.
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean? Like, I would know.
You called up your manager real quick. Like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, so I left back home, and then later on that night, he sent me a text with a picture of it, and I was just like, wow, okay. Well,
Let's run it.
I guess that's how I found out, yeah.
All right, so word on the street was right. All right.
Yeah.
All right, last question for you. You know, I feel like you're an OG.
Yeah, I guess.
I feel like some of these young fighters get exposed when they fight OGs like yourself.
Mhm.
Do you think he's going to get exposed, or is he the real deal, and it's going to be a challenge?
I can only hope. I mean, I only hope that my opponents are the real thing. You know what I mean? But that's the whole beauty of this whole fight game, you know, is I get to try to figure out the weak points and display them and make them look subpar, you know. So that's the things that excite me is once we get in there, is trying to expose a guy and show him that, you know, he's not there yet.
There's levels.
Yeah, for sure, you know, and I've experienced these type of situations multiple times in my career, you know. So, you know, I've experienced on the other end when I was a young fighter and fighting against the older dude with the name, and then now I'm the older fighter, and then now it's time to show the young guy, you know.
All right, dog. Hey, good luck.
Thank you.
Hey, Lorenz. So you complained back in March that you were having trouble getting fights, wanted to be more active in your career. So this is going to be your second fight in 2.5 months. Are you happy, or are you still hungry for more competition?
This is still the same position that I was in, even though it's back to back. It's just that I don't see myself having another fight. I mean, obviously, this is my last fight on my contract, but even if it wasn't, I don't see myself fighting 3 times. You know, well, just because I'm basing it off of the past 7 years, you know. So this was just, instead of it being more spread out throughout the year, maybe one in the beginning and one towards the end, now it's just back to back. So I mean, it's good that way, but at the end of the day, I think it's still going to be 2 fights a year, you know. So being that it's in the beginning of the year and end of the year to being 2 months apart, it's just like, you know, I'm looking for the 3 fights a year.
So after watching it play out, I know it's not completely finished yet, but how do you think you would have fared in the PFL season?
I think I would fare good, you know. I don't know. It's still weird to me, man. That like I don't know. I think I would have done good though.
Hey there,
How's it going?
so you've been in the California scene for a long time, and also you train at one of the marquee gyms in SoCal, Millennium MMA. They got a bunch of, you know, really good guys in the regional scene. Obviously, they got some people in Power Slap too, shout out to the hybrid. But I want to ask with you though, what are your thoughts now? You've been in the scene for so long. What are your thoughts on the California scene now, as we see a lot more promotions opening up? We have some in San Diego, Temecula, Riverside. Where you're from, LA. What are your thoughts on the scene as a whole now?
I think the scene has kind of died down. I think that SoCal kind of used to be the mecca for MMA. You know, some years ago, that was like, if you want to get into MMA, you want to train at some really, really good places, you know, you want to go down to SoCal. You know, that's kind of where it was at. And now it's kind of transferred out a little bit, you know what I mean? And I think we might make it a switch again, you know, but I mean, SoCal is always going to have a strong MMA presence, but I think it's kind of spread out now. I just think back in the day it was more so in just the SoCal area. Now you got these mega gyms, you know, in Vegas, Miami, Florida, and, you know, all these other places. So, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's good, you know, but I think we're making a way back to it.
And you know, you've been in the game for a while now. Your first fight was in 2008, and then you were fighting like almost every month as an amateur, which is how it used to be. Now it's really, a lot of people take their time. Do you think that that's the way to go now? Take their time. A lot of people are looking to take easy fights because obviously in the Instagram era, you know, people want to post their wins. But like back in the day, like I looked at the Tapology when you were fighting in Kentucky almost every single month, like 8-9 fights in a year. Yep. What are your thoughts now on, I guess, kind of the amateur scene, you know, as a whole, of how people are just so select in taking their fights?
We're still in that pussy era, man. I just don't get it, man. It's like it's a lot of fighters want all the stuff that comes with fighting, but don't want to put in the work to get to that point. You know what I mean? They want the stardom, they want the money, they want all these things that come with it, but when it comes to, you know, it's all gets driven off of you fighting, right? And you if you're not fighting the best guys, why are you fighting? You know what I mean? It's just like you said, a lot of it's social media. A lot of these guys just want highlights and fight ducks and things like that. And then the greatest thing about this whole sport is eventually you're gonna get figured out. You only can fight like that for so long until now you really have to fight a beast, a guy who doesn't turn down fights. He's in there just to fight. So these guys, man, I just hate to see it. You know what I mean? I tell the guys all the time at the gym, hey, the guy got the same record as you, fight him. There is no, oh, well, he's this. If he's 4-0 and you're 4-0, you're fighting. There is no a 4-0 guy fighting against a 0-3 guy. Like, that's bullshit. Like, for what? You know, so that's how it should be. You know, and don't get me wrong, if the guy is 3-0 and he's fighting a 7-3 guy, like, nah, come on. You know, but if the records match, then you should be fighting, period.
Yeah, and last one for me, this is a two-part question. As, like I said, you've been in the game for almost 20 years now, so you've seen it all. I can only imagine, sorry to make you feel but 16 years to be exact, right? So if you round it up, almost 20. But I can only imagine what you've seen. But now, as we talked about, you know, in my previous question, like the social media era we're in, a lot of the social media era, the politics of this sport is starting to come to light. I just want to know, what are your thoughts on how political the sport is really getting? And if you could also talk about something political that's happened to you in your 16-year career.
I don't really try to follow in the politics of fighting, man, but you know, it's just the era of, you know, fake it till you make it type thing, you know, and it's like it's sad when you look at it. You know, all I could do is just sit back and just be like, God, you know, like, this is ridiculous, you know, but that's where we're at now, you know, until that shift happens. You know, it's just kind of because to me, you know, like now how it is rankings don't really matter no more, dude. You know what I mean? And that's kind of across all the promotions, you know. And I think that, you know, we could have the rankings for Bellator right now, and if some welterweight came out and did something crazy in this, you know, third fight in Bellator, and he was just talking up a storm and had a crazy media, you know, game and crazy videos out there on social media, we know where he'll probably, you know, I'll probably get skipped, you know, and he'll get a title shot. So that's kind of where it's at right now, you know. So.
And then last thing, if there was one thing you could change about the dynamic of the sport, what would it be?
The dynamic of this sport, I would say if you turn down fights, it gets announced on the media. Yeah, that's what I would do. I would say it's like public information. This fighter was offered and he turned it down, because that a lot of that happens behind the scenes. You know what I mean? And then they come out here and be like, "I'll take any fight. I'll fight anybody." It's not how it goes.
Thank you, guys.
All right, just moving to Zoom for one question. Let's go to Mike Pendleton.
Lorenz, I want to touch on something that you and I spoke about, and you started off this press conference with today. Can you just talk about, I know you're here doing media, you got to answer all these questions surrounding the fight game, but how freeing is it? Can you touch on just that free feeling of getting in there, being able to go full bore, and just find comfort in what you love to do and fight your true authentic self?
Oh, it's the greatest, man. I mean, this is what gets me by throughout the year. You know what I mean? It gets my girl happy. Again, you know what I mean? She doesn't have to deal with me being an asshole. So, you know, this is where I get to let it all hang out, man. And then you know, get all those demons out, and then, you know, look for the next one till it builds up again, and go from there. And I'm pretty sure my training partners are happy too, because, you know, it's towards the end, and I'm not training as hard as I was, and, you know, I get this fight. Yeah.
I appreciate the time. Thank you, man.